self-described country girl from Texas. Tonight's guest's latest release is Some Things Are Meant to Be. With a Grammy under her belt, country singer Linda Davis seems meant to be a star, and she's here with us tonight. Linda, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
You're our very first country singer.
Well, I'm proud to be.
Amen.
Hope I'll make them proud back home.
I know you will. You have been performing since you were 6 years old, right?
Since I was little.
On the Louisiana Hayride.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, a lot of folks that followed country music through the years remember Elvis Presley started out singing at the Louisiana Hayride. It was like a family type show. A band would be there and a lot of artists would be a guest, and the audience would be full of screaming fans. And
it was radio?
It was radio, but folks could pay a ticket and come to watch it too. But it did go out over the airwaves on a radio station in Shreveport called KWKH. And they called it the Cradle of the Stars because the idea was if you got on the Louisiana Hayride, the next step was Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry. So it's got a legacy that I'm very proud I got to be a part of it. I'm still waiting to be accepted into the Grand Ole Opry membership, but that day will come too.
I think it will. Did you ever want to do anything else besides singing?
Never. I was about third grade. I remember you start to school, beginning of the year, the teacher's trying to get to know the children, and she says, okay, y'all write a little paper about what you want to do when you grow up. And I remember writing, I want to be a country star. I want to sing. And that's all I've ever wanted to do. And I'm very glad that I found it early because I think it gave me something to focus on and kept me out of a lot of trouble.
Let's take a look at the video. It's a title cut from your album, Some Things Are Meant to Be.
I got a question for you, because you've seen yourself on film, on print so many times. Can you enjoy that, or do you pick it apart so much that you're always looking for something to fix and make better?
You're generally looking at how to make it better. It's very hard to keep the professional eye that you've grown.
Right.
Looking. But sometimes it just lets go and you say, ooh.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. We've got to take a break. We'll be right back with country singer Linda Davis. We're back with country singer Linda Davis, whose new CD, I always call them albums, are Some Things Are Meant to Be. I got a quote for you.
Okay.
Of yours. You said, when it's just your voice and you on piano, it's a real intimate situation. You learn so much that way. You find out how to get inside a song. What's that like? What is being inside a song?
For about 7 years, I played and sang at a piano bar. And many nights, it was at a nice hotel there in Nashville called the Sheraton Music City. So I was in a setting that was very comfortable and pretty, so I felt good about my job. And I would sit there night after night. Many times the tables would be empty. And many times it might be full. Folks would talk and wait to go to dinner or have drinks or whatever, and they wouldn't listen. So I found I enjoyed the quiet nights, the empty nights better. It wasn't good for business, but I enjoyed the quiet nights best because I could sit there and basically entertain myself. I would do demos during the day for songwriters and learn their song, put it on tape so they can then go pitch it to a big artist and hopefully get it cut. So those
songwriters.
Right. So the songs that I would do during the day in the studios, I'd bring them to work with me at night, and I'd sit there with nobody telling me what they wanted to hear. I'd do what I wanted to. So I would do those songs and just phrase them and feel them and try to make them mine. And what I had learned, I would change it. I would just strip all that away and just pretty much claim it.
So it's like a rehearsal hall.
A paid rehearsal.
Great, fabulous. So now let me get this straight. You started off singing on the radio, and then when did you make the big jump to Nashville?
Well, that was when I was 19 years old. I graduated high school and went 1 year to a junior college, but my heart wasn't in books. I knew I wanted to sing, and I knew Nashville was where all that was happening for country music anyway. The opportunity came. I had a friend, one friend, and I didn't know him very well, but he had a partner They were looking for a female singer, and he remembered me from when I was 15 when I went to Nashville and made a little record. And he thought I had some talent, so he tells his friends, says, I got this kid in Texas, why don't you give her a shot? I flew to Nashville not knowing anything or anybody. My parents were just as gullible as I was.
They were probably terrified for you.
They probably were, but they knew I wanted this so bad, and we just kind of went with our instinct, and we're glad we did. After I went to Nashville that time, I then moved about a year later and made it my home, and I haven't looked back. I've made a lot of friends along the way. Some of the things disappointed me, didn't turn out. I'm sure you could relate to that. A lot of things looks like this is going to be it, going to make me go over that.
Go through that many times.
Yeah, and it doesn't. So you have to be strong in times like that. Fortunately, I met, who's now my husband, Lang Scott. I met him early on, and we're each other's anchor and support. Lang loves the business. That's what he moved to town for. So he understood that passion and the drive, and he was there to pick me up when my boat would sink, and I hope I've been there for him too. But it's been a long time, 13 years now, since I've lived in that city trying to make a living, and it's all paying off. I don't have the horror stories that a lot of people probably do, but it's...
How early did you find Lang?
About 2 months into living there.
Oh.
We pretty much were together from then on.
Yeah, you've been protected. That's great.
It was meant to be there, too.
Yeah. I read that you did jingles for Kentucky Fried Chicken and Pepsi.
Yep. The chicken one made me the most money, so I remember it.
Would you sing it?
Would you like me to?
I'd love to.
Gonna make you hungry.
Thank you. I had to give up Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'm afraid, for my thighs.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it's paid off for you, but I'll have your part, too, after I leave. Okay, it goes like this. Welcome home, welcome back to Kentucky Fried Chicken. A little bit of home in your heart. You're never too far, so come as you are. Kentucky Fried Chicken is home. Something funny, I came to no, we're in New York. I came to New York for the first time in my life to do that jingle.
Wow.
I'm telling you, country come to town. I came here, didn't even know how to catch a cab. I got to the big airport, and I just kind of watched people and tried to do what they did to find a cab. Got down to Manhattan, where I did the jingle, and something that I'll never forget. Michael Bolton came in and did harmony on that jingle.
Wow.
He may not even remember it, but I do.
He was a backup singer.
He was that day, but he's gone on to do some major things.
He certainly has. We got to take a break. We'll be right back with country singer Linda Davis. I'm back with country singer Linda Davis. How hard is it to find great songs to fill up an entire album?
That process never ends. In fact, you finish one and you're always stockpiling for the next. And the songs, to me, is the most important thing. I don't write. I can't depend on my writing to supply my needs. But I have many friends from the demo work I told you about doing. I've made a lot of friends and publishers and writers that look after me when it's time for me to find songs for my album. I call them personally. I'll go to their office and sit and listen. Literally hundreds and hundreds of cassette tapes I hear and listen to over and over. Then I cull them down. I get maybe 25 that I love. Sometimes I'll even go in and do what we call pre-production. That's just with a guitar or a piano vocal, and take everything, kind of strip it away like I used to do in the piano bar, just put my voice on it and see if it really is something that I'm crazy about.
One of the songs from your latest album is the Gladys Knights classic.
You remember that one?
Well,
neither one. How you gonna say it?
Neither one of us. You say neither, I say neither. You say potato, I say potato. Something. Potato.
You remember the original then, Gladys Knight's version? Me too. I used to do that, me and just the piano, and I tried to take away the R&B stuff that I can't do. That's not my style, but the song is so strong and powerful. It translates into country, I think, beautifully, and with the encouragement of some folks around me, my manager and different ones that have heard me sing that song through the years, they said, Linda, you really ought to put it on this album. So I got in the studio, the musicians were gathered around me, I sat down at the piano and I said, okay, this is how Linda does it. all of those fellas remember the original. And I said, please don't take me there because that's not me. I am country. Right. So I played them what I did with the song on the piano. They went to their instruments, and in 2 takes we had it. The steel guitar, you can't deny it's country with the steel guitar on it. And it just fits me, it fits the mood that I'm in when I sing that song. The songwriter, Jim Weatherly, called me about 2 weeks ago. He left a message on my answer machine, and he said he liked it. And when he gave me his approval, that meant the world to me.
You bet. You bet. You have toured and played with Reba McEntire, who has been a big supporter and extraordinarily generous to you. Yes. What has she taught you about the business? What do you...
There's so much. Just watching her, even when I'm in the shadows on the side of the stage or in the back where I'm not lit or I'm not the feature, I stand back there and watch her work, and her audience, her fans are so loyal to her, but she's loyal to them. She chooses songs that they can relate to. That's been a real good lesson for me, and just choosing my songs, watching what works for her. And other female artists that I love, choosing the songs, I've watched her do that. I watch her on stage. She gives them 150% every night. Her vocals, she's so particular about her vocals. She doesn't quit when it's almost there. She waits and gets it until it is there. There's just so many things, but she's just been a sweet friend, not only as a professional friend, to get to sing with her and have some fun success out of a song that we did, Does He Love You? But as a person, she's just a consistent friend, and we don't have many of those in our lives.
I read that she gave you a song, and she said, here, I want you to take this because I want you to have a hit. And I know this is going to be a hit.
She did.
And she lent her own voice on the vocals to one of your cuts.
Yeah. In our industry, songs are, we've talked about that throughout this conversation. I mean, they are, and they're hard to find, the real good ones. So to have another artist offer one from their little stockpile to another artist is rare. But Reba is a friend, and she believed in this song, and she believes in me, and she said, I have this on hold for my next project, but you need a hit. And she just believes in me, and she said, here, if you don't like it, give it back. But if you like it, you take it and make it special. And it is on the album. It's called There Isn't One. But the song that she's singing with me, I got to sing with her on her album, and now she's singing with me on mine. It's called If I Could Live Your Life. It's cut number 10, and I'm so proud it's on there. The story is about 2 women that are living totally different lives. One is, and you could associate that with Reba and her lifestyle. She wears designer clothes, she travels and stays in beautiful places and sees the world. And the other character in this song is a mom, and she stays home and raises her children and goes to the PTA meetings. So each is looking into the other life and wondering, what would that be like? Without knowing, though, that they could never be that, or would they want to for much more than a couple days?
Yeah.
They're both very happy with what they do and supportive of each other, too.
It's nice when you start finally realizing that that's always the way.
Yeah, isn't it?
So you don't really have to think about it anymore. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with country singer Linda Davis. We're back with the beautiful country singer Linda Davis, whose latest CD is Some Things Are Meant to Be. You work and travel with your husband, Lang Scott.
That's right.
What's that like? I have a little acquaintance of...
working with your spouse?
Working with your lover, yes.
In our case, it works great because...
Oh, come on, get off that.
Believe me. Now, let me tell you, the first...
All the time?
The first 5 years of our marriage, we worked opposite. He worked in the day, I did my thing at night, so we crossed paths, and that was not fun.
Yeah, because you don't have any time together.
No time. We were very selfish of the time we did have on the weekends. We had Hillary, she was just a little thing, and I'd watch her in the day or get help when I did demos. Lang would come home, and I'd give her to him as he came to the door, and he was Mr. Mom at night, which is good because they have a real close bond. But now, Lang is in Reba's band, and we travel together, and he's got his bunk. I have my bunk, great birth control, but still, we are together. And it works good. I mean, he gives me a lot of freedom to be my creative, kind of not necessarily thinking about detail person that I am. He keeps it together. He's the only reason we have anything.
That's good. Your daughter Hillary is the one you were just talking about.
Yes.
How often do you get to be with her? How do you do that with her you being on the road, both of you?
The way our little tour works is mainly weekends, maybe a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're back home Sunday, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back home Monday. So during the week, we're there for her.
Oh, great.
There's a few times a year that the routine for the country artist is to go to Canada, maybe do some West Coast things, which take about 7 days to 2 weeks. So that would be the longest stint to be gone. During the summer, she goes with us a lot.
So your children know you?
Yes.
That's
yes.
good.
It's quality
time. You can't get it back.
Mm-mm.
You can't get that time back with them.
She's growing up too fast, and I already
That's what they do.
miss enough just by being gone on the weekends. But that's all she's ever known, her mommy and daddy, to be in the music business. She's not that impressed or carried away with it, and she keeps us grounded.
Is she singing?
She can. Now get me on her. We'll talk about her all day, but she's got a beautiful voice. In fact, she brings me to tears about every time she sings with her. You know, children's voices are so angelic. She has a good ear. She started piano lessons, so if she wants to do this for a living, I'll encourage her, but she also may decide to run the opposite way.
Yeah.
There's a song in country music. You know who Loretta Lynn is?
Sure.
She's like what country music is. She had a song called You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man. That was one of my main songs when I was 6 or 7, and it really got them on their feet.
You ain't woman enough to take my man.
I didn't realize that was a novelty act. I thought I was just singing good, and they were into it.
Can you sing some of it for me?
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, please.
You come to tell me something. You say I ought to know. He don't love you anymore, and I'd have to let him go. You say you're gonna take him home, but I don't think you can, 'cause you ain't woman enough to take my man. Imagine 6 years old singing that.
Yeah, I bet it brought down the house. Absolutely.
And I thought I was just that good. I thought they were liking it because I was doing it good. I didn't realize what a funny little scene that was.
Listening to you do it right now, that was wonderful. I'm sure it was both. I feel like I just sat down with you.
Are we through? Is that what you're getting at?
Can you believe it? It's unbelievable.
Maybe we could do
shows you how good you were. You just like burned right through it.
Well, thank you.
Well, put her there. I wish I could come go fishing with you in East Texas.
I'd take you. We'd go to Lake Merville, and they got some bass to beat the band.
Big mouth bass?
And Opelousas catfish. You ever heard of them?
Oh, honey, I can canoodle. I know, I can catch them. You know this catfish, big flatheads, you catch them with your little finger. You pretend it's a worm.
We never did that.
Just do it to New Yorkers.
Okay.
Trick New Yorkers to do that.
Improvise.
Yeah. Well, here, let's shake hands. And I can hardly wait to watching your rise.
Well, I want you to come see a show.
All right.
Be my guest.
All right, thank you. Hope you all had a good time. I did. And y'all come back and see us, you hear. Or hear us, you see. Bye.